Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to the video. If you clicked on the video, I imagine you probably are a beginner guitarist. Who would have thought? In which case, I am glad to tell you that I am here to answer all, maybe not all, but some of your questions regarding guitar. So I've compiled a few clips from my friends who are great, amazing guitar players, and they are going to give you some advice and answer some of your questions on dive bombs, improvisation, tips and tricks, how to hold a pick, how to use a pick, what kind of pick do you even want, how do you get a pinch harmonic, how do you dive bomb. All these questions are answered in this video right here, and if not, we'll do a part 2. So grab your pick, grab your guitar, and let's learn with some friends.
What's up everyone, my name is Cole Rowland, and today I'm going to give you a quick mini tutorial on how to do natural harmonic dive bombs. What a dive bomb is basically just taking a natural harmonic and diving your whammy bar. There's a ton of different ways you can do it. I'm going to show you 2 different methods today. So the first thing that I would do is pick your natural harmonic. There's 4 different sweet spots, I would say, for beginners that are going to be the most effective. I do all of them on the G. First one is going to be on the 7th fret. 5, 3, and 14. So step 1, you're gonna pick your natural harmonic. Step 2, you're simply just gonna dump the bar. So tone-wise, we have a very heavily distorted tone. It's got a ton of reverb, delay, and I added in some echo as well. And what that does is creates a really long-lasting resonance. That's gonna make our dive bomb sound that much better when it's sustained. So the second method, really quick, is to dump the bar, make the strings nice and loose, pick your harmonic, and then pull the bar up. Different position. That's where you get that really nice, like, Sinister Gates screech that you'd hear on, like, the City of Evil album. And that's my quick little tutorial on dive bombs. I hope it helped you guys out.
Improvisation is the act of creating music on the spot. Much in the same way, I can come up with an idea in my head and present it to you through unrehearsed words. And like a language, music improv doesn't come out of thin air. Instead, we draw on a number of tools and experiences to articulate these ideas. To get anywhere, we need to know basic words. The musical equivalent of this would be scales and chords. But simply knowing words is fairly useless, and being able to play a C Dorian without any further knowledge doesn't get us very far either. So we also need to learn the grammar, which teaches us the guidelines for how and when we use these words. Musical grammar is the theory that tells us what effect playing certain notes together will have. With this, we can take our C Dorian and know that it'll sound harmonious over a chord progression that goes C minor 7 followed by D minor 7. We can learn all the words and we can learn all the rules, but we can't truly communicate until we've also learned the lingo. In music, these are the riffs and phrases of a specific genre. If we've learned a bunch of C Dorian licks off of our favorite artist, we can then go and play those over top of that progression I mentioned earlier. From there, we can start embellishing and changing them to fit the sounds that we hear in our head. When I speak to you, I'm drawing on years of speaking English. I don't need to think about grammar, I don't need to try and remember what words represent what, and I don't need to try and duplicate something someone else said in order to get an idea across. I've spoken enough that all this happens subconsciously. The goal is to get there with music. You learn the scales, you learn the chords, you learn how they sound, you learn where they fit, and you learn how your musical ancestors have used them. You learn that so well that you don't even need to think about it. So when you sit down to make something up on your guitar, you have a simultaneous connection between what you hear in your head and what comes out of your instrument.
Hello, I show you difference between delay and reverb. Now a lot of people think that these are same thing because they're usually used together, but they are very different. To start, delay, think of it as something that is repeating, something like a copycat, right? So here's something without delay. You just hear note, right? No repeating. But with delay, boom, you hear that the note is being repeated at a delayed time. That is what is happening. Create cool things like this. Right? Now reverb is what happens when you generate some kind of sound, and that sound travels from you to the walls around you, and then it bounces from those walls, bounces to other walls in the area, and then creates some kind of very subtle background noise, right? Which makes it so you sound like you're much more in the background and much more wide sounding. So you're not so much in the face, you know, with your sound. So let me show you. This is without reverb. Boring, right? With reverb, right? Very in the background sounding. Now this plus delay Very nice.
Hey guys, Samus here, and I'm going to talk about choosing the right guitar pick. If you are an extreme beginner or literally just started playing, you might not even be using a pick yet. A lot of beginners like to just pluck along with their fingers at first. That's fine, you know, but using a pick has many benefits. It's usually best practice to start out with something like a light pick, something that's very thin and flimsy, like a Fender Light. The thinner picks will bend a little more because, you know, they're a little more flexible. It's nice and flimsy, so you get a lot of forgiveness when you strum. See, it bends a little bit. Because usually when you're first starting out learning how to play guitar, you're doing the big easy strumming chords just so you can get a hang of things. And you know, you don't want a lot of tough resistance when you're first trying to learn something, right? So yeah, a nice light pick is gonna help you get going. I'm pretty sure the whole first year that I was messing around on guitar, when I was first starting, I was using a very light, flimsy pick. Now once you start playing a lot of single notes and not just strumming the big chords anymore, you might want to raise the thickness a little bit. Up the girth. Oh yeah. As you continue to learn and get more experience, you should really start experimenting with thicker picks and, you know, until you find the one that feels just right in your hand. See, this one's thicker, I can barely bend it. Now, a lot of the super fast shredders out there prefer a pick that is much sharper. If you're doing a lot of alternate pick shredding at fast speeds, a lot of players will swear that these little jazz picks will help them play faster. They don't actually make you faster, but it's a little easier. Here's a regular pick and here's a jazz pick. You can really see the difference in size, yeah? It's also a lot easier to get a nice squealing pinch harmonic when you have less picks sticking out of the grip area. And of course, we can then dive into the crazy world of weird guitar picks. There's some interesting stuff out there. This one in particular is pretty damn cool. This is the pick that Rob Scallon uses. Pretty sure it's somewhere around like 12 millimeters thick. Like, holy shit, man. Talk about girth.
Yo, what up? So I understand the temptation when getting into a new hobby like playing guitar of wanting to get the biggest, most expensive, top of the line, brand new, yada yada whatever. Because that would make you a better player in this case, right? Well, no, what you're doing is you would be investing your hard-earned money or your parents' hard-earned money or whatever into a piece of equipment that you don't fully understand or know how to use. So instead, what you should be doing is familiarizing yourself with the basics, with a safe investment, like with a cheap guitar from a good brand. So what I started with personally was a Fender Squier like 14 years ago, and I used that for a while. Epiphone has really good cheap SGs. LTD makes good cheap guitars for around $100. Almost any reputable, well-known brand will make pretty good cheap guitars, but as far as my own personal recommendation now, you can't go wrong with an Ibanez Geo series. These things are like $100, $150 from just about any guitar store that you could walk into. I found this one at the store just down the street. It plays like a dream. It's got a floating trem. Yeah man, this guitar is great. So as far as my own personal recommendation, I would go with an Ibanez Geo series.
Hey guys, two little pieces of advice that I think are really, really important. You know, chances are a lot of you guys are up on this channel because you want to shred, right? The most important piece of advice when it comes to shredding, when it comes to playing fast, is breathe. Sounds dumb, sounds simple. Is the secret to playing fast, cleanly, and relaxed. Okay, you have to be really relaxed. If you're all tensed up and holding your breath and your arms like this all tensed up, you know, you're going to be restricting yourself. And later on in life, you know, you might start having problems in your wrists and whatnot, which you want to avoid like the plague. Really breathe through your nose. Okay, really stay calm. I'm just going to randomly play some fast stuff. I'm really focusing on my breath right now. Second piece of advice, don't go chasing the speed. Focus on your timing and control the quality of the notes, right? So say you're learning like a crazy run, and you can play over backing tracks and you go like 8th notes, then you can do triplets, then you can do 16ths, 1 E and a 2 E and a, right? Then 16th note triplets and so on. If you can control it in all these different note subdivisions, well guess what? When your muscle memory starts to really kick in, you're training not just your hands but your brain, and eventually you will be able to play it fast. And the speed will show up by itself. Because you have that control and because you have that timing down, when you can play this stuff quickly, it's going to be clean and it's going to be in time. When it's clean and in time, that's what's going to make your shred chop sound real nice. Alright guys, that's how you do it. Good luck.
And thank you all so much for watching this video. If we didn't get to your question, if we didn't answer your question you have about guitar, please leave it in the comments down below and we'll do a part 2, me and my friends, and we'll be sure to get it filmed so you can continue on your path of learning guitar. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video and hit that like button. It does help me out a lot. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!